Good to meet you. I'm Dave Wyatt. I'm the GM for EMEA for Databricks. I haven't got any slides at all. I've chosen not to do that. I think we all see enough slides in our lives. And I'm going to let you escape some slides for 7 minutes, hopefully. Look, I often get asked the question about startups and how you accelerate growth and how you go and build startups and the journey you go on. I was responsible for the EMEA division of MuleSoft, and we took it to IPO and through that trajectory, which was an awesome trip. And the journey at Databricks, again, has been an amazing trip. I remember the first day starting in my bedroom thinking, right, what do we do now? And, you know, let's do it again and do it again, but better. And Databricks is on an amazing velocity. It's an amazing company to be at. In fact, we are looking to be, one of the fastest ever growing subscription enterprise software companies in history, and leading in data and AI in the way we do today. So super exciting journey. But like, if we go back to day dot, which is what people ask about, is day dot is generally, you kind of start with nothing, but you've got everything that's been done in the US, which is kind of in its infancy at that stage, you know, Series B, Series C stage is very early in their definition in the market. You know, they've not defined the market proposition in full. They're going to market, they've got some customers, but they're really getting some pace up and entering the EMEA region. And I had to start with a plan. And if you're in a fast-growing software company, you don't want to spend too much time on the plan. If you're spending a bunch of time in the plan, then the reality is you're not going fast enough already. So first thing you got to do is hire. And hiring is the number one job. I still say it's the number one job for every employee in Databricks, and I did the same at Mule and every company prior. I mean, literally is the number one job. So you need to hire the best in class. And then with that, you build a culture around it. And then you maintain that bar as you continue to hire. Everybody says it, but that intentionality to draw that capability is absolutely critical. Then it's all about velocity, right? So creating velocity around your products, around your brand. And that is, I go for guerrilla marketing. Go wild, get the best marketing person you can get and go wild and market like guerrilla style. But also align that to a targeted strategy after the accounts and the verticals you're after. So really take your proposition into the unique area, guerrilla market, to drive your brand out. I have this mayor strategy. I think the deputy mayor's opened a couple of my offices in the past when I've had like 3 people there. And like Google opened a new office in London, like next to that, it's Databricks for 3 people, but it's okay. Make as much noise, be bold. But the other thing is, like, you are about creating demand. You're creating the brand, you're creating the value, and then you're creating a target focused energy to where you want to get the velocity to go to. Next thing is your playbook. So define your playbook. There's already a playbook that's already been originated in the US, right? I'm just talking about launching a EMEA here, but any startup, you define your playbook. That playbook has got to be something that's going to resonate, it's going to draw value, and something that you can make repeatable. And the only way you make that playbook really work, and you know it's going to be super valuable, is because it's going to create the gravity around it to make it happen again. The playbook is something that's going to be of value. It's going to be something that's unique. It's going to be something that people are going to talk about. It's going to be something that's going to have impact. The playbook is going to be something that is defining your methodology of how you run and how you go to market and how you drive penetration with your customers and how you drive successful outcomes. That playbook will be refined, and you know when it's working because you get that one big lighthouse deal that becomes repeatable. That lighthouse deal is what gives everyone confidence. That lighthouse deal is what everybody refers to as the deal of how it's done right. You make that repeatable, you make that usable, and then you're in the next bucket, which is repeatability. So this is bucket number 4. So you've done plan and hire, you've done velocity, you've done playbook. Now you want to make it repeatable. You want to make something, you want to make this thing grow. You're in hyper growth, you want to make it happen. One is partners. You've got this playbook that you can take to your partners, but also geographies. How do you go into the right geographies? First lesson is use the data. Don't go to the geographies that everyone else went to because you think they're the right geographies. Automatically in the UK, you go to France and Germany because they're large markets. Go where the gravity is going. The gravity will come to where your playbook's most effective, and then hone into that gravity to focus your business. You will find that you'll get the best bang for your buck to get the highest growth trajectory. Then you'll tune into those larger markets where you're going to get the most success. For instance, we got a lot more penetration early at Databricks because cloud was early in its adoption phase. So actually, we started in the UK, but we ended up going to the Nordics for earlier, not in physical space, but actually we ended up doing a lot of business in the Nordics because there was a high cloud presence there. We didn't necessarily go to France, Germany, etc., etc. However, we're established in France, Germany, Nordics, everywhere now, right? So like super growth have expanded, but we followed the gravity and drove the opportunity into the gravity and then expanded with pace. Next thing is to make that happen, to make repeatability to work well, you've got to make sure that everybody understands how to get their playbook inherent in their DNA. So once you get your playbook is once you get the confidence. And to get the confidence, you need the context. You get the context from doing it and being successful. We are all, us salespeople, are all experiential learners. We don't sit down reading books for hours because we can't, because we're insanely mad on being successful and being leaders with vision and making outcomes happen and beating everybody else at doing it. That's what we want to do because we're experiential learners. So make it experiential. Coach, mentor, create a culture that shares best practices. Fifth bucket is being data-driven. Once you've got this machine that you've repeated these playbooks and made it super successful, you're hiring these A players, you're winning every time, you want to make sure that you're operationalizing your business to really hone in on where you drive multiple successes, fine-tuning what you're doing, making the drive even better, faster, and harder into your business. And that is being data-driven and understanding and analyzing your business to make decisions more effective. That's really understanding your pipeline, your deals, trends, plays, industries, territories. How do you define your business and go into that wedge in the market to make sure every time you tweak it, you get 10x multiplier. Last thing is give something back. You're winning. You're on top of the world. You're the best at hiring. You're the best at revenue. You're the best at everything. Everybody wants to see what you're doing. Take those best practices, make them repeatable, and share them with everybody. And that's my 7 minutes.